Morning, children. So we have learned about the food habits of the people of India in the previous lesson, and now it's about our dress. So we know that there are different kinds of clothes that we use based on the seasons, isn't it? So we already learned in the lower classes also that there are different kinds of clothes that we use, and during the summer season we wear cotton dress, cotton during summer, wool during winter, isn't it? So why there is a difference in the kinds of clothes that we wear? Yes, summer is very hot, and then we need some clothes which can keep us a bit cool, isn't it? Winter is very cold, and we need some clothes which can keep us warm, and that is wool. Right? So based on the seasons, we have different kinds of clothes, isn't it? If there are clothes based on different seasons, then what about India? Huh? So seasons change. When there is a change in the season, definitely there is a change in the climatic pattern also. Okay? Then we need to adjust ourselves with the kind of changes that is there in the season, and definitely we need to change our clothing pattern also. Okay? If there is such kind of a change in the clothing pattern based on these slight changes that we come across in the weather patterns, then what about a country which have got a lot of differences, variations? See, for example, in India, the northern part of India is the Himalayas, isn't it? Means what? Very cool. The southern part of India is a comparatively dry region, means what? It's very hot. The northeastern part of India, it rains a lot. It's always wet. At the same time, on the west, in Rajasthan, it's a desert, means what? Very hot. So a country which has got these many variations in the climatic conditions and different regions, is it possible to have same kind of a cloth for all these four regions? Is it possible? No way, isn't it? The kind of cloth that the people use in the northern region is not suitable for a southern region because the climatic conditions are opposite. Here, it rains throughout the year. It rains. You know, the wettest places in the world, Mawsynram, and before that it was Cherrapunchi, hardly 12 kilometers away. Okay, so Mawsynram, Cherrapunchi kind of places are there in the northeastern states of India. And the driest place, the Great Indian Desert, or the Thar Desert, is opposite to that. Okay, so India has different kinds of climatic conditions, and because of that simple reason, India has a wide range of climatic conditions. Just because of this simple reason, we can make it assured that the kinds of clothes the Indians wear also differ based on these differences. Okay. So what is the basis on which the clothes that the humans wear in different parts of India change? Based on the climatic conditions, based on the physical features which are available there in a particular region. Okay, but still there are some kinds of dress that the people of a particular region wear, and that dress is known as the traditional dress. What do we call that? We call that a traditional dress. So what do you mean by a traditional dress? Yes, a traditional dress is a dress that is worn by the people of a particular region of whom we can recognize them easily. Okay, just like, based on the uniform, the students can be identified in which school a particular student is studying. Yes, in the same way, every state, every region in India has got a particular type of dress. For example, the South Indian states, say Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala. So these states are hotter states, isn't it? So in these states, gents usually wear what we call it lungi, dhoti. Dhoti and the shirt is a common dress in the 4 South Indian states, isn't it? All these 5 states have lungi or dhoti as a common thing, but do we wear dhoti in the same way? There is some difference in the way we wear it. No? So based on the difference in wearing a cloth, we can easily understand from which state or region a particular person is. Woolen dress is a common and a compulsory item in North India, but still we can identify or distinguish a person from Himachal Pradesh and that of Ladakh or Kashmir. Okay, so this difference is made possible by the variation in the dress, and that dress is known as a traditional dress. Okay, so the kind of a dress with which we can recognize the region from where a person has come is called a traditional dress, right? So when it comes to women, the common dress is a sari, isn't it? The common dress is a sari. Then, sari and blouse is a common dress of women. Then they also have a salwar kameez. Or even ghagra choli. Right? So long skirt and the dress with the shawl. Okay. So sari and blouse is a common dress for women, especially elderly or grown-up women. Basically, they prefer sari and the blouse. Salwar kameez also is a very convenient dress as women is concerned, and salwar kameez is specifically from the state of Punjab. Okay, then the ghagra choli, and it's mostly by the young kids and all, right? So these are the traditional wear when it comes to women. Okay, and as far as the men are concerned, dhoti and shirt, isn't it? Dhoti and the shirt are the common dress as far as the men are concerned. Okay. So now, let's think about this first. So, I'll show you a picture over here, and in that you can see this single item called a sari and a blouse is being worn in around 8 different styles in India. There are a lot of specialities as far as this particular item called a sari is concerned. It's usually a single piece of cloth of something around 5 to 5.5 meters long. Okay, and it is worn, and wearing that sari is itself considered as an art, because the Westerners always wonder how is it possible to drape a 5-meter long piece of cloth so beautifully around the body. And this picture will now show you in how many ways we can wear this saree. Okay, see, look at the picture. So how many ways are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different. Means 8 different states or 8 different regions of India do follow these ways of wearing a saree. It's interesting, isn't it? Huh? A 5 or 5 meter long of a long single piece of cloth, a sheet of cloth, simply a sheet of cloth, is draped around our body in these many different ways. In the same way, the other kind of dress also, like salwar kameez is usually known as Punjabi dress because it is originated in Punjab. It's made and it is famous throughout India in the same way, right? Then we have Ghangra Choli. Ghangra Choli is an elegant version of this dress, but usually, outdoors also a long skirt and a short kind of a thing up to the waist. So most of the grown-up people will wear a kind of a shawl around the neck also for that, right? So the states like Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Kerala, everywhere, almost pan-India we can say, right from the north till the south, east to west, we can find these kinds of dress. Okay. Then in Kerala, there is another traditional dress which is known as a pancha with the blouse. It's an old traditional dress used to be worn by the girls, the ladies in that region. But nowadays, girls everywhere around India wear chudidar, pajama, kurta, trousers, t-shirts, skirts. Okay, so now the gender difference has got a lot changed when it comes to the aspect of wearing dress, right? So traditional dress is something that we have been following for a long period of time in India, but now it has got changed a bit. Yes. So when it comes to men's clothes, it's usually, yes, dhoti and the shirt is a major part of the traditional dress. We have long trousers. Trousers we usually call it as a pants and a shirt. But dhoti kurta or kurta pajama, lungi kurta, these are some kinds of a common combination of traditional dress for men that we can find in India. So what are they? There are dhoti kurta, okay, dhoti and a long kurta, then kurta pajama, pants kind of a dress, then lungi kurta. So these are the most common traditional dress for men in India. In some states, people still do prefer traditional dress. For example, in Rajasthan, the Rajasthan people still have the habit of wearing a traditional hat known as a HICON. Okay, so HICON. So HICON is actually a traditional hat that is worn by the people in Rajasthan. Then Punjabis, they wear the turban. Again, the Gujaratis have a habit of putting a jacket over the shirt that they wear, the kurta they wear. Okay. Dhoti kurta is common in the states like Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Bihar and Assam. Right? So I will show you a picture here in which you can see some different ways by which this dhoti can be worn. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different ways of wearing dhoti is there in this image that I am showing you. Most of them are pajama, kurta kind of dress in which we can see pants also. In those, whichever image is there without a pants, we can see dhoti being worn in that, isn't it? See how beautiful that is, isn't it? Huh? Yes. So traditional dress is still worn in the different parts of the country. So some regions have got this traditional aspects because, see, for example, South India, the people who here usually prefer cotton clothes because the climatic condition is very hot over here, isn't it? But is it preferable for people in North India? No, because it's comparatively cooler there, right? Now, when we go to Rajasthan region, we can often find dust storm there. Dust storm, sandstorm, we have already seen it. Sandstorms, isn't it? So, the dress that they wear definitely have some aspects which they can use to protect themselves from this sandstorm. A scarf or something with which they can easily cover their head when there's a sandstorm happens. At the same time, in the northeastern region, we have already seen it's a very rainy and wet. So, most probably gumboots will be a part of their dress. Isn't it? Because they need to work in the farms, the hillsides, in plantations and all. So, they have to use some clothes. Isn't it? Or some long umbrella kind of a thing which they can fix on their head like a cap. Becomes a part of the traditional dress because such kind of a long cap, a big cap can definitely help them from being wet in the rain, right? So this part